It's October 12th. We're officially winding down the season here. So this is our main yard in Grand Rapids. And so just want to kind of document this for us, for others that follow the channel. But this main yard has 47 colonies going into winter. 39 of them are in this spot. There's also behind me, there's a hill, and we have a couple, we call it the top of the hill. But you can see that many of these colonies are going to go into winter as triples. So we left a lot of colonies as triples when we were harvesting honey. And we did that so we had extra honey frames to subsidize colonies that may not have gotten up to weight. But we had a tremendous fall flow here. And shockingly enough, many of our singles, so you can see I think we have 4 singles going into winter here. They were able to get up to weight and they filled the box out nicely, and I think they'll overwinter just fine as a single. And so we're gonna leave them as a single. Like I said, I think there's 4 in this yard. There's one here, there's one over there, and I'll show you there's 2 more. But then also we have these 5/5s, which as of today, I prefer the 5/5 over the single. I just think they do better in it. They don't have to go left or right. They just go straight up and down, and they just tend to do better in that arrangement, in my opinion, so far. You also get a better heat stratification, so the hot air rises, and in the spring, that top box stays really warm, as opposed to a single where only, the top half of that box is staying as warm, because the height of the boxes would be different, the double stack versus the single stack. And so I feel they're able to root up earlier when the boxes are kept warmer. And so far we've really liked the 5/5, but we are going to give the singles another shot. It is nice, the singles are nice because once they come out of winter, you can just stack another 10 frame on top and they're off to the races. Whereas these 5 framers, if you want to get them into a double deep, you have to take all that apart, move them over to another box, put the other box on top. So pros and cons to each. But yeah, as you can tell, we have a ton of triples. So obviously we left a lot of honey that we could have harvested, but I mean, that's more work for us. And then we have to bottle it, store it, all that. And then you never know with the fall flow. So we're happy that we left it this way. Probably will not be happy when we have to go through 30 frames to find queens in the spring to make splits. But the other good thing is, obviously we're not gonna have to feed these colonies. When we do splits in the spring, we're gonna have ample resources to make some nice heavy nukes that we can then sell in the spring. But here's some 5/5s. They did really well getting up to weight. These were, let's see, these would be late July, early August splits. Let's see if they have a date on here. So it looks like 8/2 was a 3 frame split. So beginning of August. But overall, this yard and all these colonies are looking good. I see I forgot to put a rock on this one. And then the only other thing is this one over here. This is not a colony. So this is where we put all of our half-filled honey frames, so stuff that we don't want to go into winter with, and we let them rob that out. And so you can see, like, if anyone ever like, oh, is my colony being robbed? This is the evidence. So look at all the wax cappings. But anyway, we just leave this, the bees rob it out, and then in the spring, it acts as a swarm trap. So there's frames in there, and we'll just overwinter it like that. It has a mouse guard. And so we'll just leave it out here, and if we have early swarms in the spring from us or commercial guys that bring their bees back from almonds, we can take advantage of that. But yeah, so just wanted to kind of document this once again. There's 47 colonies, there's 26 triples, there's 10 doubles, 7 5/5s, and 4 singles in this yard. So, but hope everyone else is winding down and feeling confident going into winter. Good luck. If you have questions, reach out to us, email, comment on the videos. We'd be happy to help and give our opinion on things or direct you to some of the literature that exists for some of these topics. But good luck, and hopefully we have a nice winter, and we'll be back in the spring selling nukes. Continuing the October 12th video, as we are installing mouse guards and everything on all these colonies, get them ready for winter. So this is our Kentwood yard, and as you can see, we have 6 5/5, and then we have 5 triples and then 1 double. So these colonies look good. These nukes did very well getting up to weight. This is a great yard. Really heavy fall flow here. But anyway, just documenting this. So there's 12 here in the Kentwood yard. Once again, 6 5/5, 5 triples, and 1 double. Alright, last video for October 12th as we're getting these colonies ready for winter. This yard is our new yard. Well, actually, I take that back. It's the newest yard. We overwintered, I think 3 colonies here last year. And then obviously we have expanded. So going into winter, we have 6 5/5s. Those are all pole line queens. And then in the back there, we have 2 triples and 4 doubles. Those are some of our original genetic lines, and I think one might be a Harbo. But these colonies are all doubles, because all these colonies in this back row here, they swarmed. So they were behind everybody else, and we waited just a week or so too long, and then they all swarmed. So that's why there's less triples in this yard. But overall, this yard is very productive. There's a lot of wetlands around here, so there's like a lot of loosestrife. There's a lot of goldenrod, but pretty cool. And then one last thing I'll point out is that these colonies are in the woods, and so we've had people ask us about, if we keep colonies in the woods, are they not gonna be productive? Am I gonna have problems with small hive beetles? And in our opinion, from what we're seeing here in these colonies, there's really no difference. They might not start foraging as early, just because they're not getting blasted by the sun. But other than that, there's not a lot of difference. On the flip side of that is they're in a shade pretty much all the time. So on those very hot days, we don't see a bunch of fanning or bearding or any of that, because they are protected from the sun. So maybe it balances all out. Instead of those bees working to keep the colonies cool, fanning and going to get water and everything they do to cool down the colony, instead they can be all hands on deck getting nectar. So really no significant differences between these ones and ones that are in the field, at least from what we can tell. Obviously locations are different, but anyway, so this should conclude October 12th, and everybody up in the Grand Rapids area is ready to go into winter. We'll just be doing some oxalic acid vaporizations around Thanksgiving, Christmas, and maybe the New Year, somewhere in that area, just to make sure we kill any mites that may have survived Apogard, or in instances of the 5/5s, Apivar. So good luck going into winter. Once again, if there's anything we can do to help, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. Be happy to help if we can. Good luck.